What's happening, wrestling fans? I'm Chuck Mambo, gnarliest wrestler in the world, and you are watching Tables, Athers, and Chairs.
How's it going, buddy?
Yeah, great, man. Really good. A little bit chilly, but happy to be here in Leeds.
Yep, got a big match later on with
excited for the title match with
Sugar for the Striz.
The Strizzy, yeah.
Anyway, man, let's dive straight in. What got you into professional wrestling as a kid?
Well, my best friend Dan, who is a couple years older than me, knocked on my door. And should I be looking at the camera?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Just do what
And what did he have? Oh, he had the Rock and Owen Hart action figures, and we were always playing with like I guess Thundercats and like X-Men and stuff. So I was like, oh, what are these? These seem cool. And then so I was like, oh, cool. Apparently it's wrestling. And then I got a Mick Foley and Mankind, a Mick Foley and Kane set. And then our big brothers were always talking about it. I think it was the build up to WrestleMania. I want to say 16, but possibly 17. But I remember watching 17, so maybe not 17. But it was built up to some WrestleMania, and everyone was talking about whether they wanted The Rock to win or Austin to win. And I hadn't watched wrestling, but I decided that The Rock was the best. And then I think I got to watch something around Dan's friend's house of like the Big Show beating up The Undertaker. And then at a car boot sale, I bought a WrestleMania VHS. But then I found out that Hulk Hogan wasn't on it, so I cried and got them to change it. And then I saw WrestleMania 9, which people give it a stick, but I think it was pretty good, WrestleMania.
That would be the one where Hulk Hogan came out and won it at the end when he wasn't scheduled to.
And I think they'd already won the tag belts with the Megamaniacs.
Is that the one where he came out with a massive black eye?
Yeah, he had a black eye because Money Inc. jumped him when he was driving through the California desert, brother.
I think that's what happened in kayfabe.
Oh, yeah. What happened?
In real life, I believe there was a backstage altercation with somebody.
I guess that would make sense, yeah.
So, was the Hulkster one of your favourites as a kid then?
Yeah, man, he really was. How could he not be? He's the best. I mean, obviously, off screen, he's not even close to the best. But, I mean, God, Hulkamania, man, that runs wild. Anytime it comes out, I just fucking love it. Like, when he hosted WrestleMania that year?
Yeah.
And he just goes like, let me tell you something, brother! Just turns to the hard cam. It's just like, so fucking, I love it. I freaking love it.
So, when did you go from like being a fan to deciding, yeah, wrestling's something I'd like to actually try out?
Oh, well, I think I had the thing that lots of people thought that like, there was like WWF and then nothing else really. But then my dad moved to Gloucester, which is like more city than the town I grew up in. So I Googled like, wrestling schools, Gloucester. So that would have been when I was like 15, I think. And so then every other weekend when I went with my dad, I could train there. So that was cool. But I was like, I think I did it till I was like 17 or something, and then I ran out of money for training with, and didn't really have the focus that I wasn't the focused individual that sits before you now. So I wasn't really any good, and I kind of fell out of it, which is a bit of a shame. I would probably change that if I could go back. But anyway, then when I moved to London for uni, I found a Defend Indie Wrestling sticker in a bathroom, and I didn't really know anything about indie wrestling or like the internet or anything like that. But I Googled that, and then it led to like a Progress Wrestling page, and then that led to the Progress Wrestling Facebook, and then like the training school. And then so, yeah, luckily at uni I could train like 4 or 5 times a week, or like sometimes 6 times a week. And that was like, 6 years ago this month. Yeah.
Can you remember like your debut match?
Yeah, it was against... well, I did a couple matches when I was a teenager. I couldn't really tell you what was what there. But, I wrestled El Pantera Negra at the Bedford in Balham. I think that's what it's called. And at like Endeavour 1. And I was wearing board shorts and no shoes.
That's a pretty good place to wrestle.
yeah, it was a real fun place to wrestle, and the crowd were always really like, the Progress fans are always super supportive anyway, but they were even more supportive because they kind of got that it was a trainee show and everything like that, but it like still had like pretty high production value by like Brit Rest standards at the time, and yeah, it was super fun, and yeah, it's like a real nice confidence booster going in. Yeah.
You've always been like a fairly popular character on the Brit Rest scene. Would it be fair to say that 2018 was definitely a breakout year for yourself?
Oh yeah, for sure. My plan had been like to try and use 2018 to like make a case for myself to be in Super Strong Style in 2019, but then they, I mean, like it's a lot of different things, but like because I got to be on Attack quite a lot towards the end of 2017, and then like Riptide were giving me all these great matches, and obviously Progress were giving me sweet matches at the Dome and stuff, and then so they gave me the shot against Zack Strong Style, and then like that match was great obviously because it was against Zack, and then people, I guess just off the back of that, were like, oh cool, let's book him, and then Riptide kept giving me great matches, and Attack gave me really cool stuff, and I got to do the Progress World Cup, so and then yeah, definitely a breakout year. It's been real busy, it's been nice.
What was going through your mind, like, just before that match with Zack Sabre Junior? Because obviously, Super Strong Style 16, as far as the UK scene goes, it's one of the biggest tournaments in one of the biggest companies against one of the biggest stars. Yeah. I mean, Zack eventually went on to win it. Yeah. Was there any, like, what was going through your mind before the match?
I can't especially remember, to be honest. I think, like, one of my big things, and I did do it anyway, was to try and not fall up the stairs and through the stage. But I think I ran out of the stage and fell down the steps instead. But I'd like to believe I styled that one out. But ever since I found out that I was in Super Strong Style, I trained so hard that the last week I had to take a little bit of a break because I think I depleted my body too much. I was just feeling sad, which is it. I think that's happened like one other time in my life. But it was, yeah, I've like probably never been like so focused on like one day for so long. So it was quite like calm actually. I was just like, okay, well, this just like everything just kind of felt right. Because sometimes I still get nervous before wrestling matches and stuff, but this one. It's just like, this is fucking sick. This is gonna be wicked. And sure enough, it was. So thank you, Zack Sabre Junior.
Did you get any feedback off him after the match?
Yeah, that was good. Lots of feedback. I mean, it is kind of like wrestling specificities, but he was super helpful, and he went out of his way to like structure that match to get me over. So. I'll always appreciate that, man.
Another big match you had later on in the year was against Big Timothy Thatcher.
Yeah!
At Fight Club Pro.
Fuck yeah!
I did enjoy that one.
Oh man, I loved it. I've never been so gassed from just being stretched out though, like, because I was just screaming so much because he was putting me in all these holes. Like, I was really worn out just from being in pain. And then the cool springboard sleeper hold to win. Yeah, that was really cool. And like, because like, I've always admired that about like both of Ring Camp really, that they like wrestle to their own, and Zack Sabre actually, that they wrestle to their own like the way they like. They don't really worry too much about like keeping the crowd in the conventional like ow. They like wrestle the way they like to wrestle. So it's quite strange being in the ring and like the crowd being like quite quiet and watching for so long, and then like right at the end just. Unless that's just me being deluded and they didn't care. But it felt like they were like pretty quiet and just like didn't really know what to do. Because it was that Schadenfreude show too where it was all quite confusing. And then when I won, they like seemed to be really loud. And I was like, sick. That's a real rush, yeah.
What was it like staring Tim down before the match with him laughing, saying you're going to die?
Well, it was as scary as you'd expect, really.
He's a big boy.
He's huge. He's real huge. He has one of those bodies kind of like Antonio Cesaro, where it looks like they've like put too much muscle into that amount of skin or something. It's just like waiting to flow out or something. I wish I had that body. That's cool.
You mentioned Riptide earlier on. You are currently the Brighton champion.
Fuck yeah, I am.
How are you enjoying it down at Riptide?
I love it, man. It's the best. It's always such a great atmosphere. Like everyone backstage is super cool. I mean, obviously it's like almost all the same people that you see everywhere in Brit Rest, but like they really take like really good care of you backstage. There was 2 physios there last time, so that was freaking pretty cool. And they keep like letting me wrestle wrestlers that are really really good. So that's obviously beneficial for me. And yeah, it's nice. Feels kind of like a wrestling home, I'd say. Good to be the champion of Brighton.
Got a big match down in April against your good friend and colleague, TK Cooper.
TK Cooper, yeah, and my colleague, my fellow escapologist. Yeah, man, that's... yeah, well, if that's half of what I'm hoping it should be, then it'll be pretty fucking crazy.
You're looking forward to that one then, yeah?
Oh, yeah, super looking forward to that one. That'll be something. Best friends go to war.
Another place that you've caused quite a stir in last year, beginning of this year. Attack Pro Wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
Where we saw the first glimpse of the dark side of Mambo.
The dark side of Chuck Mambo is corrupted by Eddie Dennis, no less.
How you enjoy playing that role?
It was a blast, man. It was really, really fun. Like, the big reveal of the Love Making Demon thing was, like, really fun. Just, like, getting to be, like, really theatrical and stuff like that. And then, going on, it was quite fun to explore, like, a more, like, no-nonsense, serious bad guy side. But I've always thought if I was to be a bad guy, like, long time, I'd love to be, like, the Genius or something. Like, a really camp, flamboyant bad guy.
You did a really good promo, which is on YouTube, and Attack Pro Wrestling's Facebook page, where you're with, I think it's Drew Parker, with Nothing to Prove, and you're giving a speech about letting the mask slip. How did that promo come about?
I was just thinking about stuff in the shower, I think. Just kind of talking to myself as I tend to. And then, I can never tell because I have loads of ideas and like some of them like really bomb, and other ones people are like, oh, give it a try, and other ones people are like, oh, that's sick. So like Chris was like, oh, get a camera and film it properly. I was like, oh, wicked. And I'm really glad he did because it went down like super well. So yeah, it was just I guess everyone in wrestling is always like trying to think of cool ways to cut promos and stuff. So it's just one of those really. And then thinking about like the idea of Chuck Mambo, like, whoa, being as much of a performance as, like, the Love Making Demon. I guess it's just kind of hurtful to the fans to hear that, even though, I mean, it's not true, but...
Another place...
I was wearing a mask when I was talking about taking off the mask. Weird.
Another place where the lines are semi-blurred, I'd say at the minute, are Progress.
Oh, yeah.
Where you're kind of a bad guy, but at the same time not.
I'm just a boy making my way in the world, I'd say.
You're doing what needs to be done to get forward.
Well, this is it, yeah. I mean, like, I won the Super Strong... Well, I didn't win the Super Strong Style. I won the World Cup. I had, like, a pretty breakout performance at Strong Style, though. And then I wasn't on anything until the World Cup. Oh, actually, no, I had a wicked match with Chris Brooks as well. So maybe I shouldn't be complaining. But then, and then I had the title shot. And then I was on, like, the pre-show at Wembley, which obviously was a great experience. But, like, I felt like after all those performances, I deserved to be on the show, every show, really. I feel like I've proven that. And the basic game plan was if we just take out the people that are hogging the spots, then they'll have to fill it with someone. And it's working out so far because we've been on all the shows since, so...
More to come on Sunday.
More to come on Sunday. The Marks.
Another place where your YouTube series, Escaping the Midcard, seems to be playing out somewhat, is the new promotion, Breed Pro Wrestling.
Breed was a total blast. Anyone in the north or the south should definitely check out Breed because I think it's going to go on to good things, and they have a real nice belt, and we have it.
Yep, the opening show, there was an 8-man tournament, which all 3 members of Escaping the Midcard were in.
Oh, yeah.
And you ended up taking out the title with TK Cooper with a little tiny bit of help from yourself and Spike.
Oh, yeah, well, just enough to make sure that one of us left with it, you know? Yeah.
How are you enjoying working at Breed?
I mean, I can only say from the first show, but the first show was real cool. It was great. It had that nice big venue. It was cold, though.
Yeah, it was pretty cold.
I guess that will change come summer. But it's in a different venue. But, it's a blast. And I love that they, like, want to use us as a team. We're trying to wrestle as many places as possible as a team. So if anyone's listening, then, yeah, please get in touch. But it's been cool because we only started ETM as, like, fun little mess around.
I think it started at Super Strong Style, didn't it?
It did with T-shirt gate, and then yeah, seems to have like slowly, but like then people are booking us. Like we have the cool thing of like ETM against each other for the Riptide title, and then like ETM with like including Spike up at Breed. I believe there's some other irons in the fire that I guess they're not announced yet, so I can't really mention. But yeah, it's been cool. Yeah, so if anyone would like a charming trio on their team or a tag team, then go right ahead and hit us up.
Okay, I want to end things with a word association game.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to say a name, and I want you to say the first thing that comes into your head.
I've just got loads of bad words in my head now that I just like, don't say, you know.
TK Cooper.
Escapologist.
Spike Trevay.
Spoiled.
Jack Sexsmith.
Confused.
Eddie Dennis.
Big.
Damon Moser.
Hard.
Chris Brooks.
Lovely Squid Kid.
Roy Johnson.
Batman. I should have said Buddy Guy.
Present William Eva.
Mad.
Fight Club Pro.
Awesome.
Attack.
Well, I can't say awesome again, can I? Fun. Weird and wonderful.
Progress.
Super fun.
Riptide.
I was trying to think of a tagline that Riptide. Champion.
Final one. Chuck Mambo.
Whoa. I mean, Riptide champion.
Where do you see yourself in 2 years' time?
Ooh, that's a good question. You know, I really don't have any game plan, which is as the march of time progresses, might be getting a little bit worrying. But I'm hoping as long as I'm still like making a living out of wrestling, hopefully maybe a little more of a living. Well, that'd be great. Higher up the cards places. It'd be great to wrestle some more places. I'd love to get to OTT and White Wolf and Defiant. It'd be sweet to maybe like get to wrestle in Japan or Mexico or America or something. But just taking it as it comes. I haven't really got any game plan just yet. I found out there's a beach in the Bahamas with pigs that swim wild on the beach, and no one knows why they're there. This businessman from the 90s claims that him and his friend put them there as a sustainable source of food for after Y2K.
That's great.
Pirates left them there to eat on the way home. The Bahamas cost loads of money to stay at, so I don't know if you can pitch up a tent with the hogs, but it would be good to get there. I mean, my girlfriend were looking to climb a volcano at some point. And I've been looking at this guy, Wim Hof. He like can do this breathing stuff that is just cool. And he's climbed Everest in his pants. So I think like if I could maybe give that a go, that would be cool.
And on that note, Chuck Mambo, thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure, man. Thank you.